Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today we are looking at Kash Patel and some of the controversies that he has managed to get himself caught up in. Okay, Kash Patel is the head of the FBI. Okay, one of the most powerful positions in the United States of America, possibly the world. Okay, everybody knows about the FBI. Everybody knows about the CIA, and this guy is head of that position. Okay. And he is getting himself in constant controversies. He is getting himself into constant sticky situations. Okay. And the first sticky situation that we are going to uncover is his alleged alcoholism, which he denies. Okay. Very important. Kash Patel, you cannot sue me because you are denying it and I'm just reporting on it. Hey, I'm just reporting on it, okay? But apparently you are saying that you are not an alcoholic. And here at Raw Instinct, we are saying that booze is good. Okay, I have a whole episode about Guinness, which is my love for Guinness, which is why I love Guinness, which is why we need more Guinness wankers in the world. Okay, but let's see what you are saying about your alcoholism.
Kash Patel wasn't drunk on Fox this morning, or at least
he was not drunk on Fox this morning, okay? But apparently he has been drunk many a times.
a little bit hungover from a big party night in Vegas yesterday. We don't.
And who doesn't like to get a little bit boozed up, okay? It's all about being boozed up, right? I wish, I do like a 90-minute live stream. I wish I could get boozed up every time I fucking come on this live stream, okay? But, you know, I usually film this during the day. So it's not really appropriate to get boozed up. You know, I mean, any time after 5 o'clock is kind of socially acceptable to have a little drink, okay? But, you know, I am professional, which is why we do not get boozed up while we are recording.
We do not know that. All we know is what The Atlantic has reported about Kash Patel consistently being intoxicated at work, his staff needing to wake him up to break.
I mean, if you're supposed to be the head of one of the most central, important, arms of the U.S. government. Okay, you're supposed to be the head of one of these, the Federal Bureau of Intelligence. Okay, one of the most important positions in, in America, in the world, right? And if you have employees that constantly need to wake you up, I mean, like, how did you get how did you get that job, right? Like, how did you find yourself in that position, right? Is it all a conspiracy? I mean, I put puppet next to his fucking face as a thumbnail. Obviously, you have to make it a little bit salacious to get people to click on it. But are you literally a puppet? And is it the fact that you are so stressed out that you have to resort to booze, leading you to a life of alcoholism? Is that what it is, Kash? Tell us what is going on.
Break down the door to get him to his office. That is what.
I mean, when your fucking employees, your subordinates have to fucking kick down the door to make sure you're fucking breathing, that is kind of a problem, isn't it? Like, people are knocking his door. Hey, Mr. Patel. Hey, boss. Are you awake? Like, what's going on in there? You haven't left your fucking office for the last 4 or 5 hours. We're just making sure you're okay. And they fucking have to break the door down. And I don't know what you find there. Is he covered in vomit? Is he just surrounded by, empty cans of fucking beer? And then they have to push him and, hey, Kash, wake the fuck up. Like, is it a scenario like that? What is going on at the FBI? This is one of the most important, offices in the world, right? And you have this boozed up boss drinking during the day, allegedly drinking during the day, sleeping, hungover, right? To the point where people allegedly have to keep breaking down his door to make sure that this guy's still fucking breathing. Like, it is absolutely out of control. What is going on in America?
We do know. And Kash Patel is trying to dispute that. And Maria Bartiromo doesn't really seem to be buying it. No, the Fox host wasn't really listening to what Kash had to say and taking it seriously this morning, not only about this breaking it literally on Kash's relationship with Trump and what might be coming next.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of controversies that this guy has got himself into. I think we should actually list off the controversies that this person is involved in, especially the alcoholism that he is involved in. Let me get this up. Hang on.
In the firing department. We're going to get into all of it, but we do have to start with the context. If you haven't read the article about Kash Patel, it is where I want to begin. Keystone Cash's endless wild booze binges spilled by top officials. Kash Patel's alleged boozing, FBI and DOJ officials told The Atlantic, has been concerning. Multiple times in the past year, his security detail had reportedly had trouble waking him up because he seemed to be drunk, according to.
I mean, multiple times, right? His security detail. So basically, his security guards had trouble waking up their boss because he seemed to be too drunk, according to information given to DOJ and White House officials. I mean, that is not fucking good, is it? Right? If you're to the point where you're so drunk that you can't even wake up, because I mean, this guy looks cracked out, right? Allegedly. Okay, this guy looks like he is on something, allegedly. Okay, and I love using the word allegedly, okay, because it removes, it is allegedly, like how do I, a guy here wherever I am, okay, I mean it's easy to guess, really. I mean, I've said it multiple times, but I'm not going to say it today. Wherever I am in the world, it is easy to guess where I'm from, that I've heard about this guy. Okay, he's not in my politics, right? He's not a major figure in my politics, but I'm hearing about this, and it is a strange thing. Okay, and he's also a brown dude. I'm a brown dude. And you kind of look at this guy and be like, okay, like yeah, man, like an Indian, you know, ethnically Indian person has made it into such a high profile position. And what's the first thing that this guy does is get absolutely smashed, okay, off of his fucking nut, to the point of where he has to have his subordinates waking up during meetings to make sure that this guy's absolutely fucking functioning. And this is why, like these people who are in charge, okay, they are puppets, right? If you're front facing, if you're fucking in the media like this guy, you are a puppet. You're just there, not to pull the strings in the background. You're not there making fucking decisions. You're just there to answer questions, okay, on what is going on. Kind of, be the face of receiving the hate. And then, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, they'll just chuck you away, okay? And then they'll bring in a new face. You'll fade away into the background. You get paid a bunch of money, and you'll get to live a great life. I'm sure, I'm sure he's, living a great life in the background. He is somebody who is well compensated for, just being a beacon of hate, right? Like when you build a high-rise building, you usually have to have like a lightning conductor. If there's a lightning strike, it hits this lightning rod, it conducts electricity back down into the ground. And this is what Kash Patel is. He is just a lightning conductor. Okay, he is just somebody who is taking the hits out in public, and then removing, because the FBI is a shadow agency. It moves in the background, right? It investigates, terrorist organizations, high criminal cases, threats to the American government. Okay, this is what the remit of the FBI is. And then, if to have a face of it, and I don't remember any time in history that I ever knew any other FBI head, okay, the face of the FBI, apart from Kash Patel. Okay, so it's kind of weird. It's a weird situation that this guy finds himself in, right? To be the face of a massive secretive organization, right? The fact that he is so publicly facing kind of makes me believe that he is not really part of the decision making progress. And then with all these added reports, the fact that he is off his fucking nut, that he is drunk on the job, that he's hungover most of the time, he probably doesn't have actually any day-to-day activities. They just kind of roll him out a couple times a week to give press conferences, to speak to the media, And then any discretions, anything negative that happens with the FBI, that this guy's able to kind of be the face of receiving that hate, the backlash. And then, in a couple of years, especially, I think they're just waiting for Trump to kind of move out. I think, no, my prediction is that, I mean, in the 2028 election, what you are going to see is Trump, American politics kind of be a background, spectacle again, right? Because right now, American politics is too much front page news, right? It is going to kind of take a backseat. I think other things in the world will unfold. I mean, I think there's going to be more economic problems, which will be blamed on, again, on Trump. I think he's going to take the blame of a lot of the problems in the world. Um, just simply because he's such a controversial figure, such a hated figure in America, that he is somebody who is going to take the brunt of it. And then as he walks away, and whoever steps in next, whether it's Democrat or Republican, they will kind of operate more in the background. I mean, like people like Clinton. Clinton would have been a background president if it wasn't for his fucking scandalous affairs, right? George Bush would have been a background character if it wasn't for the fact that he obviously made absolute stupid mistakes when he was speaking to the fucking public, looking like a buffoon sometimes. Okay, allegedly, right? People, and obviously he was involved in the war of Iraq. He was involved with the president residing over during the 9/11 attack, and he was also kind of the sitting president during the great financial crisis. So a lot of all these major things happened kind of on his watch, and he was kind of one navigating that phase of America, of the world. And he you know I mean, he was portrayed as a bumbling buffoon, right? And then you obviously you have Obama coming next for 8 years, who was seen as a highly intelligent, charismatic, right, JFK type leader, first African American president. The great, you know, l- l- like a new dawn on America. Highly charismatic, highly popular. But still causing massive atrocities all over the world, right? And he was able to kind of navigate it, and people were like, but he's the first black president, so we have to kind of like, um, it is progress. Okay, even if he's doing the same things that all the other fucking presidents in American history have ever done, it is still progress because he's black. Like, I mean, it kind of whitewashed. Is that the right word? Blackwashed. It kind of cleaned up his image because he could have had the same term for 8 years, 2 terms, 8 years, right? Doing the exact same things that Obama would have done, right? But if a white president would have done it, I think they would have called him out on it because Obama resided over it. They kind of like they pushed back on it, right? I think even he won a Nobel Prize. And I think it was more to do with the image of having a black president than to do with anything that he actually stood for. Because you have to think about it, that the progress that Obama was able to make led to America having Trump as president. Do you get what I mean? Like America was so sick of his politics and the direction that America was going. They were like, "Fuck having another Democrat in the public house." And I think the Democrats made a mistake of having Hillary in, running for president that term, that election. That they couldn't find a fucking better a better fucking candidate than Hillary Clinton, right? I mean, who herself was, had partaken in so many controversies all throughout history. I think I will do a episode on the Clintons in a couple of days. So we'll kind of, delve deep into that situation. But, Obama, he got away with a lot because he was black, African American, and then you have someone Trump come in, absolutely moronic, just talking things, taking things, talking out of his fucking ass, and then he employs someone like Kash Patel, right? And I've never heard of somebody in the position of being FBI director in person, and the fact that this guy is getting so much airtime kind of means that the FBI is doing a lot of dodgy shit in the background, and he is just the one who's catching he, he's the one who's catching a lot of the flack, straight, straight to his head, straight to his face. He's the one who has to navigate it. And I think there's a reason they chose a fucking Indian guy to do it, right? Because they try to be like, okay, look, he's not white, he's an Indian guy. Look how fucking woke we are. Look how fucking inclusive we are, that we put in somebody who is of Indian, whose parents are Indian, of Indian ethnicity. We put him into this position. Like, can we not catch a break? I think the world has moved past that. I think the world is moving past looking at woke shit. It's not about what color you are, it's about what the fuck you're able to do. Okay, I think people are sick and tired of looking into stereotypes, right? Because not every fucking brown person, not every black person, not every fucking person of color is suppressed, right? A lot of people of color have privileges. Okay, a lot of people of color have an easy life, right? A lot of people of color are also the fucking dumbest people that you ever meet, right? So to hide behind these woke quotas, about that, oh, the only white supremacy exists and all other fucking all other people across the globe are victims. I don't think it flies anymore, right? The real fight that we find ourselves in is the fight between rich and poor, the people who have power and the people who do not have power. And if you look around, most people, okay, whether they're white, whether they're an ethnic minority, whether they're black, brown, Chinese, Japanese, Filipino, right, wherever, Eastern European, whatever, right, Southern European, okay, whatever, Arab, most people in the world, 80% of people hold no actual power in the real world, right? Um, sure, okay, white privilege, I guess. I don't know. I don't really fucking care about it. I don't really believe in it. I think believing in it and fighting against it is a stupid thing to do, because what does white privilege mean, really? In modern societies, especially since most Western countries are ethnically, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Where ethnically quite diverse, right? The fact that me as an indie man can live in a Western country and I haven't been killed yet, right? Like, I mean, it's not a racist country, then, is it? I've not experienced racism. I mean, since I was at school, right? And that was like just a stupid racism that you might experience, like somebody calling you, "Oh, you're not white," ha ha ha. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, I'm Indian. People saying that, "Oh, do you eat curry for breakfast?" Like, like it's just child's play. Like really, since have I experienced much racism? If I have, once or twice, it wasn't large enough for me to fucking lose sleep over. I think we're moving past that. I think, and which is good, because the real battle lies between the evil elites, the people who are ruining our society, our worlds, who are trying to devise and divide us, who are trying to ruin our experience here on Earth, which is what I'm against. This is what I'm about. This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm starting the channel. I'm trying to find the right type of people who think like me, people who believe in similar sort of ideas as I have. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm about. And we are here to bring about a new opposition to the evil elites. And because we are good people, because we have a great idea, because we are bringing together 100 kings, 100 kingdoms to rule together over the world, to bring opposition to the evil elites. This is why we will be successful, because we actually care about people's freedoms. And because we care about people's freedoms, it will naturally be us who is winning, because the people who because people who are being suppressed, they'll kind of work out after a while, being, oh, okay, if I carry on going to this direction, my life's going to turn into shit. So why not fucking give it a go with this opposition, the Royal Alliance of Kings that I'm forming? And maybe we can overthrow the evil people who are in charge right now. Let's jump it back in with Kash Patel.
Information given to DOJ and White House officials. Last year, there was even a request for breaching equipment, specialized tools used by SWAT teams, law enforcement, and the military to break through fortified room and structures, because Patel's security detail couldn't reach him behind locked doors.
I mean, this is fucking crazy, isn't it? Like this guy got so intoxicated, apparently, allegedly, that his security team had to crack down a door, break into a door, because they kept knocking on it. Hey, Mr. Patel. Hey, director of the FBI. Fucking wake up and open the fucking door. Are you safe? Are you okay? Are you breathing? We need to hear and know what you're doing. And this guy's just fucking asleep, boozed out of his fucking mind, apparently, allegedly. I just like was using the word allegedly. That he is boozed out of his mind. He's hungover. He's asleep. He's trying. This guy's just in the fucking room. He's like, man, yeah, I just need a couple hours sleep. Yeah, I'm so fucking hungover from smashing beers and doing God knows what else. Um, you know, don't wake me up. And this guy's taking the piss. That 6 hours later, he's still asleep. Because he's been up all night fucking partying in Vegas. It's absolutely wild that this is the guy who is supposedly the head of the FBI.
So Kash Patel, who has already faced numerous scandals over his private jet usage, traveling to see his likely Mossad agent girlfriends.
Yeah, I mean, this is the other thing. So you have this, you know, son of immigrant parents, ethnically Indian person who's going out with a Jewish lady, right? Who is has allegedly links to the Mossad. That he is also a Israeli asset, a Mossad asset. That he is being controlled. Okay, this is why again this guy is a puppet. He is being controlled by a very attractive Israeli woman, right? And he is doing the bidding of Israel, and it kind of makes sense, like how did Israel rope in the US into a war with Iran in the Middle East, right? Is it because they all kind of have ties to the Israeli government, right? I mean, Donald Trump's daughter Ivanka Trump is married to Jared Kushner, who is also has dual nationality with Israel. Okay, she's married into a Jewish family. Is that kind of how Israel got his fingers into Trump by controlling the most powerful position in in the White House? Is that what is going on? Okay, like I don't know. Look, I'm just saying, I'm just putting stuff out there. Like, is it yes or no? Somebody more educated than me fucking tell me, right? Like, allegedly, I am only guessing. Allegedly, I am only putting stuff out there, and I don't know. It kind of seems a little bit fishy to me.
Country music shows, the time he spends out in clubs, the times he cancels meetings early in the morning, that was already settled fact. We knew about this.
By the way, why is it like how could you have and be married or be dating an Israeli country music singer? Like the two don't kind of go along. Like Israeli culture, Jewish culture. I don't see many Jews having a stronghold in in the South of America. Do you get what I mean? In the South states of the United States, like it kind of like it does seem like a bit of a plant there, isn't it? Like they are just trying to appease a certain demographic within the American people.
And now we are learning via the Atlantic's reporting that Cash was so banged up at times his staff had to wake him up, and he was likely intoxicated at work. I think, have all maybe had a night or two where the night carries into the. But Cash really doesn't want you to believe that, and so he went on Fox this morning and tried to give the
all they want, but that's
only one I want to get into. The next clip after she confronted him about his lawsuit, I think was even better because she just kind of like yelled at Kash Patel.
Okay, and when you watch this clip, I kind of want you to look at his reaction. Look at the way that he answers this question. It is very deflective. He is just trying to navigate a certain situation. He is just trying to, he's not answering any of the questions. He's just throwing shit out there to distract, to threaten, to make himself look like a victim, but not actually addressing any of the things that the reporter is trying to ask.
Not believing the other bullshit he was telling, and this was about the 2020 election, but listen to how skeptical she sounds.
and so you know what? They can beat their drums and stand next to toxic waste all they want, but that doesn't make it toxic waste. And Maria, I'm happy to announce on your show that we are not going to take this laying down. You want to attack my character? Come at me. Bring it on.
Okay. why the head of the FBI is saying you want to attack my character, bring it on. Like, do you know what I mean? Like he's some fucking UFC fighter. This is the point, right? Like, this is the state of politics of real life issues, by the way. Okay, like the things that these people talk about, okay, they have massive power, massive control over American citizens, over global citizens. Okay, when they come on TV and they behave like UFC fighters, what does that tell you about the state of the world? Okay, many people are fucking idiots. To the point of where, you know, I mean, I'm not somebody who would watch this type of news content anyway. So what is this? This is Fox News. Okay, it's all for fucking drama. It's all for clicks. Okay, this is like this reads like a script. Okay, this reads like a segment from WWE wrestling, right? Scripted, fake, kayfabe. Okay, the fact that he's like, okay, anybody wants to say anything against me, fucking come at me, bro. I'll fucking knock you out. I'll fucking smash your fucking face in. I'm the head of the FBI, and if you want to fucking bring it, I will bring it. I will bring a fucking arsenal of fucking ammunition to your fucking face. I will destroy you and your whole fucking bloodline because I'm Kash Patel and I'm the head of the FBI. Like, that is the type of energy this guy's coming from. Okay, it's an absolute joke. It's an absolute fucking disgrace that this person is talking the way he is on national TV.
I'll see you in court.
So
I'm see you in court. He is threatening people. He's throwing lawsuits in and around, left, right, center, because that's what American culture is. Okay, he's like, I'll try to shut you up because I'm going to fucking sue you for money.
you're going to sue them.
Absolutely. It's coming tomorrow.
Tomorrow you will be dropping a lawsuit against the Atlantic magazine.
Yes, I will, for defamation. And because, you know what, Maria? We have to fight back against the fake news. It's the one.
And then he uses fake news. So he's using a line straight out the Trump playbook. Okay, that, oh, anything somebody says negative about me is fake news, but all the right things that are being reported in support of me, that's not fake news. That is correct news. Like, so is the news fake? Is it real? Is it all fabricated? Is it all just play pretend? Yeah, probably. But so is all the things that are allegedly right about you, right? So you can't pick and choose what is correct in the news. People are reporting what they have heard. Right, you can't pick and choose what you believe is to be right, what you believe is to be correct.
It's one of the many things that President Trump is so successful at in leading out on, because
and straight away he mentions President Trump because, you know, he even knows, you know, calling out fake news is what Donald Trump does. That is what he is best.
No one is attacked as baselessly as he is and as much as he is. And our leaders that get attacked under his brilliant leadership must do the same. And I won't tolerate their attacks on me, because they are indirect attacks on the men and women of the FBI that we've cleaned up. And this historic, prolific year of crime reduction across the board is something that all Americans should be. And I know they're proud of it because I travel across the country and they say our communities are safer than ever before. Our kids aren't dying of drug overdoses. You're stopping terrorist attacks. Maria, in December, in a 4-week span, this FBI stopped 4 terrorist attacks planned over the holiday season. 4.
Okay, and obviously he's rolling off all the great things that he has achieved, what he has done. Let's just jump into another video of his. This is him at the how do you describe it, when the American hockey team won the Olympics. And I'm going to put mute it because obviously I don't want to get copyright stricken for the song. I mean, there you can clearly see him. He's got a fucking bottle of beer in his hand, jumping up and down while the crowd is fucking singing live. I mean, you know, everybody else, you know, this is the American Olympic hockey team, right? They have just won a Olympic gold medal at the recent games in Italy, I believe. The Olympics were held, and he is jumping up and down, right? This guy has a beer in his hand, and he seems to be more off his fucking nut than everybody else. Right. I mean, that's fair to say. Everybody else kind of is enjoying the moment. They're having a beer. They're dancing. They're singing. Everybody's jumping up and down. But Kash Patel is going a little bit extra, isn't he? Like let's carry on with that little clip. Yeah, I have to mute it because obviously I don't want to get copyright stricken. And everybody's singing. You have a bunch of hockey players there, and then you can just see Kash Patel in the background. Jumping up and down. I mean, here you go. Like this is the head of the FBI. Does this like smashing the table, right? Somebody puts the fucking medal around his neck, beer bottle in hand, waving it up and down. Okay. I mean, he is acting like a fucking maniac. You know what I mean? Like, it would. I mean, you saw a person like that, you would not think that he was on, possibly some other type of medication, some other type of illegal substances. Smashing his fucking fist on the table, getting a fucking medal put around his neck with a bottle of beer in his fucking hand. And look, he's just waving his fucking arm, jumping up and down like a maniac. Okay. Look, you can just see him swigging straight from the bottle there, throwing the beer right around the room, right? Like, I mean, you would think that he's the one who fucking won the medal, right? That he is the one who participated in the fucking games, right? It's absolutely wild that this is the guy who is the head of the FBI. It doesn't even make sense. Like, I could, like, if Donald Trump turned up there, right? If the vice president turned up there, right? Like, I would be like, oh yeah, fair enough, okay. But like, why is this guy there? The head of the FBI? I'm sorry, what? Even if the FBI agent is there for national security, right? To protect the hockey players for some whatever reason, don't be front and center with a fucking beer in your hand. Like, like, do you get what I mean? Like, it's absolutely fucking nuts that this guy is.
That's more than Joe Biden did in his 4 years. So we're going to get after the fight. And if the fake news mafia wants to, ring their drum beat as loud as they can, they're never going to stop me from completing the mission that President Trump asked me to do, which is safeguarding America. And we're doing it better.
I mean, safeguarding America. This is the man safeguarding America right now. Okay, let's play again. Throwing a fucking beer, safeguarding the American people because you need a fucking Bud Light in your hand as you are safeguarding the American people. Being part of a fucking celebration that you have nothing to do with, by the way. Like, it's absolutely gross that this guy's getting himself involved.
She just doesn't really seem to believe it.
Absolutely, Maria.
What's coming next? Maria really just wasn't having it.
Let me ask you about the mission, because every time I see President Trump, he says this repeatedly, that the election was rigged in 2020. I mean, he says it all the time. We all know that. And it's almost getting lost because he says it so much. You've been at the FBI now 14 months. Have you done anything about that? And do you have anything to tell us about that?
Absolutely, Maria. Look,
just remember, right, when he's about to say this, just look at this fucking video. Just remember, this is the person who's in charge. Okay, this is the person who is about to answer. Okay, this is what this guy does in his private life.
Day one on this, as I told you earlier, I was the one that led the effort with folks like Trey Gowdy, Johnny Ratcliffe, and Devin Nunes to expose.
Where does he have the time to lead all these efforts if he's out there fucking partying with the American national hockey team? Like, where in his schedule does he allow himself to head these investigations? Obviously he is not the fucking head of this. He is just a puppet. He's just a front-facing fucking clown to distract everybody else from what is really going on at the FBI.
Those the corruption that tried to thwart President Trump's first presidential election run, and we saw the FISA abuses there. And I lived through it, and the media came at me then too. That just shows you that when you're over the target, you keep pummeling the target because the media's going to try and pummel you.
By the way, I mean, can you not wear a fucking tie? Right, like, you're the head of the FBI, like that. You're supposed to be, you know what I mean? You bothered to put a fucking suit and a white shirt on. Like, would it really hurt to fucking put on the tie and look a little bit professional? Right, he looks like he is in fucking Vegas. He looks like he is just came back from a fucking boozy night out. Right, like, it is absolutely crazy that this guy, who is supposed to be the head of one of the most powerful organizations in the world, cannot be bothered to fucking dress up a little bit. Okay, put on a fucking tie, Kash Patel.
We are not going to take this and have not taken this laying down. We did already indict former Director Comey, and that's going through the judicial process. But we also, at this FBI, even though we uncovered what we uncovered back in the House Intel days, I had to come in here and find rooms that they hid from the world. I had to come in here and find access on our computer systems in restricted and prohibited case files that they purposely put in places for.
How did you do this? Okay, you're saying a lot of fucking things. How did you do this? Okay, so one person was able to unravel all these hidden fucking secrets that the FBI was holding. Like, that you are the only fucking savior that came in and fucking sorted shit out. Like, it's absolutely out of control. It is absolutely fucking salacious that this guy is saying all this bullshit. Let me just quickly jump into let's talk about some of the controversies that Kash Patel is into. Okay, so Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, is currently embroiled in several major controversies involving allegations of professional misconduct, personal behavior issues, and retaliation personal practices. Okay, the Atlantic allegations and $250 million lawsuit. On 17th of April, 2026, about 5 days ago, the Atlantic published a bombshell report based on interviews with over 24 sources alleging that Patel engages in excessive drinking that has led to unexplained absences and caused a briefing to be rescheduled. Okay, so this person is supposed to be fucking the head of the FBI, right? He's supposed to be there. They're having a fucking meeting, and then they're like, "Oh, where's Cash? Where's the boss? Where's boss man?" Okay, and he is out there somewhere fucking partying, boozing, being excessively disorderly drunk, right, to the point where he cannot even attend and fulfill his fucking duties at work, right? I mean, if you were a subordinate at any other fucking company, you'll be fucking dismissed straight away. So the question does have to be asked, okay, what power does Kash Patel hold? What fucking information? What is he blackmailing his subordinates with? Right? What is this information that he has that he's able to say, look, I'm gonna do whatever fuck I want to do. Okay, I'm gonna get boozed up. I'm gonna be fucking doing whatever I want, and you will never be able to fire me. Okay, what information? What secrets does he have access to? What does he hold over these people? Okay, so exhibit erratic behavior. So severe that security detail reportedly considered using breaching equipment to reach him behind a locked door. Okay, so this guy's passed out in his office and they have to smash in with a fucking like breaching equipment to break open the door, right? Like, it's wild. This is absolutely wild. This is absolutely crazy that this is the level that the head of the FBI is stooping to. Expressed paranoia about being fired. Okay, particularly after technical glitch temporarily locked him out of internal systems. So he is worried. He is a little bit worried about losing his job because he knows that he is acting in a manner which is not how a FBI agent, the head of the FBI, should be acting. Okay, so this is wild that he is so paranoid that he might get fired. So whenever a minor inconvenience happens, he comes along and thinks like, oh my God, they're trying to fire me. They're trying to get rid of me. Okay. It's absolutely crazy. This is supposed to be the head of one of the most powerful organizations in America. In response, Patel filed a $250 million defamation lawsuit against the magazine and reporter Sarah Fitzpatrick. He has publicly called that the response a malicious hit piece and pure fantasy, misuse of federal resources. Critics have raised concerns over Patel's use of government resources for personal leisure, including FBI jet usage, allegations that he has used the bureau's plane to visit his girlfriend, country singer Alexis Wilkins, and attend her performances. So literally, he gets called up to be the head of the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Intelligence, which is supposed to protect the interests of everyday American citizens, and he is just using the private jets, which American tax dollars pay for, to fly around to visit his girlfriend to perform her country concerts. Okay, her country music concerts. Is that the person that you want to be in charge of? It's fucking wild. I mean, this is behavior that even Donald Trump doesn't fucking do. Donald Trump is a maverick. He is somebody who is acting in crazy ways. Many people already know this. Many people expect that type of fucking behavior. But, from somebody who is supposed to be the head of the FBI fucking Federal Bureau of Intelligence, this is not fucking something that we want to see. Even if you are in another country, remember that the FBI has a massive influence on global politics and whatever happens all across the globe. Security details reports that he provided Wilkins with a SWAT team security detail in Tennessee. So he is providing resources to his own fucking girlfriend. Like his girlfriend probably doesn't want to suck his dick, so he's like, "Hey, babe, look. What I'll do is in Tennessee, things might get heated. I'll give you the FBI security SWAT team. Why don't you fucking lick my balls for tonight?" Do you know what I mean? Like, so he is trying to use FBI assets, security, basically trying to use his own staff at the FBI to kind of act as security for his girlfriend so that he can get some sexual favors. It's absolutely out of control. Winter Olympics. Public criticism followed footage of Patel celebrating and drinking beer with the US Olympic men's hockey team in Italy. The FBI defended the trip as official business. Okay. So he basically called this official business. Okay, let's just see it one more time. Let us see what's going on. Yeah, because like on official business, you have to fucking chug a beer. You have to be throwing around beer all across the fucking room. You have to be fucking looking like you you literally just done fucking 6 lines of coke, put the Olympic gold medal around your face, beating your chest, throwing your arms in the air, jumping up and down like a fucking fan of the American hockey team, jumping up and down, singing along, causing a ruckus. Okay, I mean, it's not like he's in the background there just joining in the celebration. It looks like he is in front center of what is going on. It's absolutely out. I bet you a lot of people don't even fucking know who this guy is, right? They just thought he's just some fucking crazy uncle, some crazy lunatic that they just invited into the room, and they're like, "Oh wow, he's wearing he's an Indian guy wearing a USA top." Okay, yeah, man, give him a fucking beer. Put the medal around his fucking neck. Somebody probably mentioned to the guy, "Oh yeah, he's by the way, he's the head of the FBI." "Oh wow, that's really fucking good. Yeah, hey, why don't you fucking join in with us and party with us?" Most of these people are just the hockey team is just happy celebrating their success, which is is their prerogative, it is their right to do so. And then you just have this random old uncle Indian guy come along, joining and kind of gate crash and ruin the party. Like, he is not adding anything. He's just acting like a fucking maniac, jumping up and down. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Do we need this? Everybody else is actually quite civilized. He's the one who is acting like a fucking maniac. Everybody else is kind of like, yeah, man, we just won. We are the champions, my friends. Do you get what I mean? So they're just singing along to whatever fucking song they're singing. And this guy's like, yeah, we fucking won. We're USA, USA. Like, acting like absolute maniac. Okay, acting out of his fucking mind. Is he on other substances? We don't know. We need to do a drug test. Okay, let's jump back into the interview.
See and find. We have found all this information. We are working with our Department of Justice partners, and I am never going to let this go.
He's never going to let this go because he is a fucking weirdo. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's kind of holding on to it, like fighting. Like, this is like, what? So you have nothing better to do than to fight off this fucking lawsuit that you're trying to conduct about you not being a fucking alcoholic drunk who's just using FBI resources to party up and down the country. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, if you're so concerned about what is being said about you in the public eye, like, wouldn't you maybe not be in the public eye? Do you know what I mean? Can you not just be a secret fucking agent, by the way? Like, do you know what I mean? The FBI is supposed to be a secret fucking agency. You're not supposed to know the names of the fucking people who work for the FBI because they are intelligence agents. Okay, they're supposed to be in the shadow, working behind the scenes, working out what is going on, collecting intel. And this guy is front and center, right, pushing himself into a national celebration with the Olympic US hockey team. Okay, he's himself got a very high profile girlfriend. What you couldn't find a fucking Jewish girl who wasn't a celebrity to date? Like, why is it your actions are all about you trying to be front and center when you're supposed to be part of one of the most secretive organizations in the world? It doesn't make sense. Something is amiss here, okay, Cash. Okay, we don't know what you're doing. You are doing something that is absolutely out of fucking control.
Done anything about that after saying that Patel has been at the FBI for 14 months isn't really the nicest framing of a question. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, normally, wouldn't you want somebody who maybe somebody who heads the organization has been there for maybe 10 years, 5 years at least? Do you know what I mean? That they maybe worked their way up. They were part of several high profile cases that they're working in within the Bureau of Intelligence, and that they were, stopping terrorism, that they were catching real criminals, that he really earned his stripes. This guy came out of fucking nowhere. Okay, nobody, he's been there for about 14 months, and then for some reason they gave him this position. It doesn't make sense. Okay, it is literally a puppet front facing position that he himself found himself in.
It doesn't necessarily lend itself to you've done a great job. It's not a very gracious framing, and Kash Patel doesn't deserve a gracious framing. Also, there's no way to frame that question. There was no fraud in the 2020 election. Kash Patel is looking into nothing. The reason, though, he is talking about this fraud is because he's worried that Donald Trump is going to fire him. Fake.
He's worried that Donald Trump's going to fire him. Well, of course, if you're fucking acting like an asshole, getting drunk on a job, falling asleep at the job, okay, and using, big, using taxpayer dollars to fund your girlfriend's security team, yeah, of course you're gonna get fucking fired, and you deserve to be fired, right? It's wild. It's wild that such an incompetent person, allegedly, that such an incompetent person is head of such a powerful organization, right? Like, what has deemed him to be fit to be the head of the FBI?
Fraud. Let me just say again. He's worried that Donald Trump is going to fire him. And so he thinks if he goes on with Maria Bartiromo and talks about the 2020 election fraud, the fake fraud, Donald Trump is going to see it and say, wow, Cash, you're doing a great job. And you know what? Drink even more booze. We don't care. Have a couple of shots on me. You and Pete, you go crazy.
By the way, have you noticed that everybody tries to do a very good Donald Trump impression? Everybody has a great Trump type impression. I feel like everybody has a great Trump impression. You know what I mean? It's the first time I've ever done one, by the way. So maybe I should practice having a great Trump impression because everybody else seems to have one.
Do a keg stand for all I care. But actually, I think something different is taking place. I think Maria Bartiromo is kind of like a trap for Kash Patel, and her obvious annoyance is setting himself up for something that we have seen of other Trump administration officials. Midas Touch's editor, Ron Filipkowski, did a great job pointing this out. I completely agree with what he had to say. Ron Filipkowski and I share a similar idea here. He said, watch Maria Bartiromo's interview of Kash this morning. That felt a whole lot like Senator John Kennedy's questioning of Kristi Noem right before she was fired. It seems like Trump uses proxies to lay the groundwork for it so he can claim firings aren't in response to fake news. Yeah, that was a bad interview, and a bad interview with a lot.
So maybe a lot of this is basically Kash Patel is coming to the end of his reign of terror at the FBI, that he kind of knows that, look, he faked it till he made it. Okay, and he got into one of the most highest paid positions in the world, and he might know his time has come to the end, right? So he's like, yeah, let me enjoy it. Let me use the fucking private jets. Let me get some brownie points with my fucking girlfriend. Let me provide some security for her so that she gives me an extra blowjob once a week. That she is kind of, taken care of, that she sees me as the main man, the head of such a powerful organization. So he knows the writings on the wall, and he's like, I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use company resources, and the lawsuit that he's throwing out there, he's trying to get $250, $250 million, compensation for character defamation, his calling his integrity in question, right? So if he does now lose his job, right, in court, I guess he could point out that it was due to the negative press that he received from being called an alcoholic. Because even though I showed you that video of him at the Olympics, that does not make Kash Patel an alcoholic. That just makes basically I mean, you can call him incompetent because he shouldn't be drinking really while conducting American business overseas. But you can just say, look, it was just one beer, right? Because on camera, you see him with one beer jumping up and down. He thought like, look, I was very proud of the fucking hockey team. I got a little bit carried away. They threw a beer in my hand, and I took a swig from it, and the rest I sprayed around. Because on camera, all you saw is one sip and him spraying the rest of the beer around. He's like, look, I took a sip of beer out of friendly. I was trying to reciprocate the hospitality that the people were showing him. Okay, there's an easy way that he can get out of this. Okay, right, and that he can be paid $250, right, and then he will say, look, it was a sip of beer. I threw the rest around the room because everybody else was, that they were partying, and hey, I don't know what these hockey players do. I thought I was being part of a frat party. I thought like let me just add to the atmosphere. They just won a gold medal, and I was very proud of them. And I just threw a little bit of beer around the room. And the media took that information and they painted me in the picture of me being an alcoholic, which is not true. All the stories that you've heard, I don't know where they came from. Because I doubt anybody would ever testify to it in court. Right, because I think one thing about the FBI is that they do not snitch like that, unless they're willing to lose their job and become a whistleblower. I doubt anybody would ever testify to that information in court. So Kash Patel can kind of deflect all of this. Okay, that he'll be like, yeah, they paint me in this particular way. I only took a sip. I sprayed some beer around, and now because of that, I've lost my job. Right, I was the head of the FBI. I lost my job. I lost the privileges, and I was supposed to have a 10, 20, 30-year career. This is the amount of money I would have made. I want to be compensated with $250. I mean, even if they give him just 10 million, do you get what I mean? Like he's still set for life. Like, okay. I mean, his Israeli girlfriend might leave him, but 10 million, fucking hell. Like, this guy's an incompetent. Like he gets that much amount of money.
Lot of pushback, and Kash Patel did not seem assured of himself. He just seemed sloppy, like on the verge of maybe sloppy.
He just seems like he's just constantly fucking drunk. He seems like an uncle at a fucking wedding. Do you know what I mean? Just literally boozed out of his fucking mind. No tie. Tie's gone missing. Like, do you know what I mean? He was dancing on the dance floor. Tie's gone missing. He's took a couple fucking rails in the bathroom. By the way, I don't know what rails means. Allegedly. I don't know what a rail means. But he took a few rails to the face, boozed out of his fucking mind, no tie, absolutely out of control.
But yeah, I think that is a very real possibility that this is just okay, Kash, go try and save yourself. And if it doesn't work, and if you screw it up, which he did, it was a bad interview. He got pushback. He did not sound strong or good or firm. And this lawsuit isn't going to actually happen. Also, why would Kash Patel want a lawsuit? Right, it's funny. His own lawyers actually kind of shared more in their response to the fake claims. They shared more about Kash Patel being passed out and drunk. They shared more examples. So if there was a lawsuit, there would be discovery. Kash Patel would have to turn over text and emails. Likely those would be about the Epstein files in some capacity. Does he really want to open himself up to that scrutiny? No. So there is no lawsuit. So that's why Maria Bartiromo was like, why am I the person that you're going on with to just like try to protect yourself? One, it's not going to work. And two, you just look bad. Like Kash Patel would be an idiot to actually sue the Atlantic, considering that their reporting is correct. It's from administration officials. And two, yeah, he would be opening himself up to that criticism, which is why the reporter who actually released this piece was rightfully very self-assured when talking about it.
I want to give you an opportunity to respond to this reaction to your piece, because Patel's advisor, Erica Knight, called your piece fabricated stories.
So this is the person who's actually written that article. She's called up onto the news to defend herself and the claims that she has made.
Said that every serious DC reporter passed on. Sarah Fitzpatrick and Jeffrey Goldberg printed it anyway. Lawsuit is being filed. What do you say to that?
I say that I am a very careful, very diligent, award-winning investigative reporter with a history of award-winning work across multiple.
So she is standing firm. She's standing strong. She's like, look, man, I'm fucking award winning. You don't get to be in my position if you're fucking fabricating lies, okay?
Organizations. You and I, in fact, have worked together previously. I stand by every word of this reporting. We have excellent attorneys, and it is a surprising statement, but a very telling statement, I believe. And I would also note, we reached out for comment to the White House and to the Justice Department, neither of which disputed anything. We gave multiple opportunities.
So she reached out to the White House, okay, and the Justice Department, saying that this is the allegations being made. They never disputed it. They could have just said, no, this is fabricated lies. We do not back any of these comments, which would have kind of quashed and, stopped any speculation about what Kash Patel was up to. They decided not to do that. Okay, they decided to remain silent.
Including 19 detailed questions. So
19 questions, and they didn't, dismiss any of them. Right? It is absolutely at control what the head of the CIA is doing.
We stand by.
Sorry. My fault. The head of the FBI, not the CIA. The head of the FBI. Imagine if I just get a lawsuit from the head of the CIA next, just because I made a little faux pas. Like
Every word. And look, this is telling, because there are so many people. You alluded to it earlier. These are not the types of people who are willing to speak out outside of the FBI, especially right now, because Kash Patel is going after people with polygraphs in a way that has never happened at the Bureau.
So Kash Patel internally is a bit of a menace. He is a psychopath menace who is trying to catch out people for spreading misinformation, even though it's true. Anybody who's kind of speaking out against Donald Trump. I mean, the main problem is, right, that Kash Patel is seen as being Donald Trump's right-hand man, that he is favoring his administration, when regardless of who is president, the FBI and the CIA should remain neutral. Okay, they should remain impartial, because their mandate, they are supposed to look after the interests of the American people, not whoever's in the president, not whoever's in power, the American people. Okay, let's carry on and look into some of the allegations against Kash Patel. Internal purges and retaliation. Patel has been accused of leading a campaign of political retribution within the FBI. Wrongful termination lawsuit. 3 former FBI officials sued Patel and Attorney General Pam Bondi in September 2025, alleging they were fired for working on investigations involving Donald Trump. Right. So if you are investigating, so basically it kind of looks like Donald Trump placed this guy into this position of power so that any internal investigation against the Trump administration happens, that Kash will kind of quash it. Okay, so he is not being impartial. He is taking sides. He's being favorist towards Trump, and not allowing any truth to be investigated into Trump's conduct while he is president. Arctic Frost investigation. Patel has faced criticism for firing agents tied to the Arctic Frost investigation and special counsel Jack Smith's probe, which the FBI Agents Association described as a campaign of arbitrary retribution. Agents Associated described as a campaign of polygraph testing. Reports indicate that he has intensified the use of polygraphs to identify and purge suspected leakers. Wow. So if the FBI was to internally go against his own rules, okay, an investigation or hide evidence, or basically seen as to not be acting in the correct way which the FBI should be acting in, acting in bad faith, basically, or if the FBI is basically doing that sort of shit and somebody speaks out against it, if you have a fucking whistleblower, if you have somebody who's acting out and being like, maybe guys, we shouldn't be fucking doing this, alerting other intelligence agencies like the CIA, to alerting them to what is going on, you kind of have him coming along and polygraphing people, right? Running a lie detector test to find out what people are doing with their information, right? So you have real employees who are acting in good faith. They are observing and seeing what is going on in the FBI. Okay, they are seeing what Kash Patel is doing, what he is allowing, what he isn't. Okay, and they are being taught to be, partial, right? To favor Trump's administration over the truth. And if you're seen to want to go out and there and report it, if you are there who are maybe wondering whether they should be doing this at the FBI, Kash Patel will come along, put you on a polygraph, and fucking find out what you've said, what your real feelings are, what your real, what your real beliefs are about the situation, and he will try to maybe throw you into fucking jail. He'll try to get you fired from your job. It's absolutely crazy that this guy, and it kind of gives you an insight into the guy's mind frame. Okay, that this guy is somebody who is absolutely out of control, that he is willing to do all these crazy things, in order to drive a certain narrative, right? And I mean, we can speculate what the narrative is, that he is trying to cause for favorable circumstances for Trump. But why? Why does he need to do that? Okay, what is going on? We have no idea. Data breaches and AI mockery. Iran linked hack in March 2026, last month. A hacking group known as Handala claimed to have breached Patel's personal emails, releasing years of private documents and photos. AI viral videos. Patel has become the target of viral AI generated Lego style videos mocking his alleged behavior and drinking habits, which have gained significant traction on social media. Okay, and apparently there's a Al Jazeera link here. Can I click on it? Let's have a look. Let's have a look-see. Why not? FBI director Kash Patel, children's school. Okay, fuck that. I can't be asked. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Let's carry on with this fucking video. I mean, this is absolutely out of control what the head of the FBI is doing.
So for it to be this level of alarm, this is people genuinely concerned that America is a danger as a result of this conduct. And I feel, a real responsibility to take care of that reporting incredibly carefully. And The Atlantic is nothing but diligent, and we have amazing lawyers and amazing editors.
So it looks like even though Kash Patel's threatened to launch a lawsuit of defamation, basically lawsuit against The Atlantic for reporting on his alcoholism, on his boozing habits as FBI head of the FBI, director of the FBI. The person who wrote the article, who launched the investigation into Kash Patel, she's standing firm. She's like, well, no, we've done nothing fucking wrong. And for her to very quickly come on to what news agency is this? Okay, wherever, for her to come on, onto national news and basically say that, look, I'm not backing down against whatever claims are made. They were very well researched. Okay, um the sources that we had, the people who tipped us off with this information, they are very trusted and reliable sources, and we believe that everything that was said is true. Right, the fact that she is able to say this very, very quickly and that she is steadfast in her beliefs of what is going on with Kash Patel kind of makes you believe that they don't give a fuck if they lose this lawsuit, that they reckon there is enough evidence for them to actually go ahead and beat Kash Patel in court.
And I stand by every word.
Yeah, Kash.
I mean, you just heard her. So she stands by every single word that she says. She stands by the fact that Kash Patel is incompetent, that he is a drunk, that he is somebody who sleeps on the fucking job.
Kash Patel is not winning a lawsuit. Kash Patel isn't winning a lawsuit, one, because he wouldn't win, and two, like I said, it would open him up to discovery. It would open Kash Patel up to further questioning on issues I really don't think he's going to want to talk about. But I think who should want to talk about it is the House Oversight Committee. Kash Patel needs to be brought in. Kash Patel needs to be grilled. We should get Kash Patel's text messages. This is certainly grounds to bring him before Congress again.
Yeah, I mean, he's acting like a fucking CEO of a public traded company, right? So, I mean, if fucking Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or somebody like that, right, like is acting out of control, being in charge of a publicly traded company, using company money to do naughty things, the worst that could happen is you're thrown off the board directors. You get stripped of being CEO of your higher position within that company, right? But at the end of the day, it's a privately held company, right? But when you are the head of a publicly funded, taxpayer funded entity like the FBI, then you are held to, you are, you're somebody who is kind of voted in by the American people, right? Like they are kind of your shareholders, right? The American people. And if the American people, if there's enough interest in the story, they can launch an investigation and be like, what the fuck was going on, right? And the fact that this guy is brown, the fact that he is Indian, already, I think if he was a white guy, he would have got away with it. But it looks so dodgy, right? Like it looks so dodgy that you have this fucking Indian guy, brown guy, right? 25 years on after 9/11, okay, head of the FBI doing these random shits, and this is the first FBI agent that anybody in the world has ever heard of, right? Nobody's ever heard of another fucking FBI agent, right? Actually, let's have a little Google. Okay, let's have a little Google FBI agents in last 20, let's expand it 30 years, right? Let's see if we've ever heard any of these names. FBI agents, no, FBI directors. Okay, list of FBI directors in order. There we go. This is exactly what we were hoping for. J. Edgar Hoover. Okay, everybody knows J. Edgar Hoover. Great. Robert Mueller, between 2021 to 2013. Never heard of him. Okay. Christopher Wray, between 2017 and 2025. So basically pre Kash Patel. So J. Edgar Hoover was the head of the FBI between 1924 and 72. So wow, that is like literally 50, nearly 50 years. Okay, 48 years. J. Edgar Hoover. And J. Edgar Hoover, I believe, became the American president after, right? Or am I just making that up? No, just so J. Edgar Hoover, okay, Clarence Kelly between 73 and 78, right? William Webster between 78 and 87. William Session, okay, between 87 and 1993. Louis Free between 1993 and June 25. Between 1993 and 2001. Robert Mueller between 2001 2013. James Comey, okay, between 2013 and 2017. Christopher Wray between 17 and 2025. So, I mean, apart from Kash Patel and J. Edgar Hoover, right? Like, they're the only two heads of the FBI that I've ever fucking heard of, okay? And J. Edgar Hoover is famous, obviously, because he was there for nearly fucking 50 years. And he had, you know, what was Edgar Hoover most known for? Confident counselor and adversary. Yeah, I mean, you know, because he was kind of like the right hand man of so many fucking presidents, such as Roosevelt and Lyndon Johnson. You know, really empowered him, and his, you know, relationship and contribution to against the fight between communists, right? So he played a very pivotal role in that, which kind of makes sense why he is so fucking famous. Herbert Hoover is generally considered as a historian, a poor president. So okay, so J. Edgar Hoover wasn't the president. No, okay. So Edgar Hoover and hang on. The J. Edgar Hoover, he wasn't American president, was he? No, he's not. I think he might have been. Department of Justice, head of Radical Division, head of the Bureau of Investigation, Depression era gangsters, American Mafia, investigation, civil rights, blah blah blah, late career, legacy, FBI. Yes, okay, so he's only involved with the FBI, right? I haven't got that right. President of. So he was. So J. Edgar Hoover. No, but hang on. That's Herbert Hoover. I don't know. No. Okay. No, it's definitely wrong. Yeah. It's definitely wrong. Definitely wrong. Or was it? Nah, that's bullshit. Okay. Anyway, we'll carry on. That was fun, wasn't it? Fucking confusing.
He has failed at his budget. He has failed at basic duties at the FBI, and now he's failing to not be drunk on the job. It's why I'm glad that Robert Garcia is already jumping on this.
I mean, I believe the reporting. I'm just completely, first of all, believable. I mean, this is someone that has already abused the office. He's already abused taxpayer resources. And the fact that he's having to interact intoxicated with agents of ours, the fact that he is missing meetings repeatedly over and over again. I mean, the man.
I mean, this guy's basically just hammered 24/7 on the fucking job, missing key meetings. This could be a fucking key meeting to intercept like a fucking terrorist, a serial killer in America, okay? And this guy's drunk out of his fucking mind, asleep in his fucking office to the point where his own security team have to break the door down to make sure that this guy is staying alive, that this guy is not is still fucking breathing. Right, that this guy's not just covered in fucking vomit, choking on his fucking own drunken behavior.
My opinion has been dishonest with the Congress as well in hearings and in depositions. He has had no business running this agency. He had no experience to run this agency.
That's a real problem there. That this guy has no experience. You know, he seems just came out of nowhere. He seems like he is a industry plant. Let's jump into this other video I wanted to show you.
Head of the FBI sounds like a dream job. The kind of thing a kid imagines to be when he grows up, without really knowing.
Real prosecutor for 10 years. I know exactly how.
So I was a fake one?
Why are you protecting pedophiles?
That is maybe the most offensive thing you could say to me.
How many times did President Trump's name appear in the Epstein files? Was it more than 100, more than 1,000?
It sounds like if you don't know the number, it could at least be 1,000 times. Which
It's not.
Be,
It's not.
is it at least 500 times?
No.
Is it at least 100 times?
No.
Then what's the number?
I don't know the number, but it's not that.
While claims
So you have this guy who's pretty certain it's not 1,000 times, it's not 500 times, it's not 100 times, but then he cannot give you a particular number. You know, he could have just literally said less than 100, less than 50, right? This guy's willing to lie. This guy's literally willing to say whatever he wants. He sounds and acts like a UFC fighter doing a promo speech before a fight. He sounds like a fucking WWE wrestler who's willing to say whatever it takes to make sure that he is staying entertaining.
incompetence are one thing, the real reason why his tenure in the office might go down as historically bad comes from not stupidity, but corruption. And at the
And can this guy never wear a fucking tie? Like, I mean, do you know what I mean? He's not fucking hench, is he? Yeah, like can you not just fucking pop like a tie on? Like, what? Why are you sitting in the fucking White House? You know what I mean? Like you're on national TV, okay? Can you not just fucking literally pop that fucking collar up and put a tie on? Like, is it that fucking hard? Kash Patel?
moment, it looks like he said one thing to get in power and turned the leaf once he actually obtained it.
Who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book?
FBI.
But who? That is that. I mean,
Oh,
there's.
that's under direct control of the director of the FBI.
So the Black Book of Jeffrey Epstein is under the direct control of the director of the FBI. Okay, by the way, this is Kash Patel saying this before he became the director of the FBI. Okay, so according to him, okay, it is Christopher A. Wray, right, and James B. Comey, possibly Robert Mueller, had access to Jeffrey Epstein's Black Book, okay, which the Black Book is basically a list of all the people who were part of his clientele that he was trafficking women to, people who visited him at Little St. James, people who were part of his sphere, people who he borrowed money off, lent money to, people who were in his little social circle. Okay, so at least a minimum of 3 previous heads of FBI were aware and had access to Jeffrey Epstein's Black Book. So now that Kash Patel is somebody who has access to that book, okay, that book, you know, any mention of that book has gone missing. Okay, it's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely wild.
This is another government gangster operation.
It's your boy Luesta, and this is why Kash Patel might go down as the worst FBI director ever. But first, a little context on not only who he is, but how this unqualified individual got the job in the first place. The son of first-generation immigrants, Kash went through Pace University's School of Law, then worked as a public defender and later a federal prosecutor. And in 2007, he joined the House Intelligence Committee as an aide, living in relative obscurity on Capitol Hill until he suddenly landed on Trump's radar after helping write the Nunes Memo, a document meant to discredit the investigation into Trump's ties with Russia. This memo totally vindicates Trump in a probe, said a tweet from the president's account, but the Russian witch hunt goes on and on. There was no collusion and there was no obstruction. This is an American disgrace. From there, he was essentially a made man in Trump's camp. And on top,
So basically, he just wrote a piece, a document. Yeah, he hedged his bets. Basically, he thought like he looked at the landscape. He was like, "Look, Donald Trump looks like he's about to win. Let me write, you know, a memo, discrediting Trump's involvement with, you know, any links to Russia, basically, in order to gain favor with Trump." And it accomplished what he was trying to do, basically. Okay, because I doubt, you know, I probably thought at that time, you know, especially Trump had very little power, very little friends in, you know, in those circles. So that when he found an ally, he was very supportive, very thankful, and you know, he probably remembered it. You know, like a mobster, like he was like, "Look, man, I'll remember this, and once I get into power, I will take care of you. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours."
but becoming chief of staff to the Secretary of Defense, he even spun his Russiagate fame into a children's book praising the president called The Plot Against the King.
I mean, when you have the head of the FBI who also cosplays as a fucking children's storytelling author, I mean, that is a crazy timeline to be fucking living in, right? Like this is absolutely wild. Look, I mean, look how happy he fucking is. Okay, Kash Patel, the children's illustrator,
where he cast himself as Cash the Knight. Yeah,
Cash the Knight, who's helping Donald Trump, the rightful prince, regain his kingdom.
seriously. There he is on the cover, dressed as some kind of evil wizard, while an evil Hillary Clinton looms over them. This is
Oh my god! I mean, this is disgusting. This is absolutely trying to whitewash his reputation. You know, like how do you even announce him? Kash Patel, head of the FBI, and also children's favorite illustrator. Okay, like it's absolutely crazy that this guy went down this road. Well, I mean, look at it. The plot against the king, the plot against the king, 200 mules, the plot against the king, 3, the return of the king. Like it's absolutely crazy that this guy is in charge. But look at the ratings as well. 1-star rating, 2.5, 1.5, 2.5-star rating.
somehow led to a trilogy of books on the subject. Later, he launched a fund to support people charged in the January 6th Capitol riot, arguing that Democrats were the ones to blame for the chaos, all because they supposedly turned down extra protection.
Well, actually, President Trump preemptively authorized 10 to 20,000 National Guard. And what happened? I spent the next 3 years and hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees.
Why is this guy not fucking wearing a suit on the Joe Rogan podcast? Do you know what I mean? Why does he look like he's just wearing like fucking gym attire? Like, do you know what I mean? He's so trying to lick Joe Rogan's ass. He's so trying to appease Joe Rogan that he is willing to dress exactly how Joe Rogan dresses.
Testifying before Congress, proving up just what I had said was the truth. Then the documents came. We finally got them out because I know what we had written. And it showed Bowser in writing declining National Guard. It showed Pelosi in writing saying no to the Capitol Police. Don't get the National Guard.
So they wanted it to be chaos.
Well, that I'll leave to you on that. But what I'm telling you is they knew what was true. They knew what was false.
But even after Cash was out of a job, he never stopped writing for Trump. In April 2022, he took on the role of director at Trump Media and Technology Group, all while pushing hard for Trump's comeback through podcasts and his own show, Cash's Corner, on the Epic TV network.
So this is just basically a bunch of narcissists who are just trying to, fire up their own brand, the Kash Patel brand, the Donald Trump brand, right? That they are literally using these, positions of power within American politics, who are kind of gaming the system, using podcasts, using social media to gain notoriety, to climb to very successful positions of power, in order to build connections so that they can continue to make money, use national resources to fly across the globe, to feel important, that they are literally not, they don't give a fuck about the real people who are being affected every single fucking day by what is going on in America, the American economy, American politics, global politics, right? People around the globe who are affected by American politics all around the world. They don't give a fuck, right? It's all about them having their name out, being associated. I mean, these are fucking losers. These are fucking losers with no self-esteem, right? Who kind of still at their big fucking ages. I mean, Kash Patel must be at least in his 50s, I imagine, right? Don Trump's in his late 70s, 80s, I imagine, right? That these people still need someone to pat them on the fucking head, being, oh, you're such a good little boy, aren't you? You're such a good little boy. Well done, Kash. Oh, you're such a good little boy. It's absolutely wild.
Trump left the White House. Kash Patel remains one of his biggest boosters.
I am honored to be here in support of Donald J. Trump. He is being victimized.
Along the way,
he's being victimized. He's willing to say where the fuck it is in order for him to get his name out. I mean, this guy is somebody who is a children's author. He now wrote a book called Government Gangsters, and then he joins the fucking American mafia. He joins the FBI, which is another fucking gangster association, working under a legal framework by the American Constitution.
He also wrote the controversial book, Government Gangsters, The Deep State, The Truth, and the Battle for Our Democracy, which even included an appendix listing over 50 current and former US officials he labeled as part of the so-called executive branch deep state, calling them a dangerous threat to democracy. Given how hard he would ride for him and the way their priorities were aligned,
at least he's wearing a tie here, do you know what I mean?
It's easy to understand why Trump wanted him as FBI director.
Kash Patel.
Why is his fucking eyeballs literally just like popping out all the time? Like, you know what I mean? I'm Kash Patel. I'm going to fucking talk to you right now, okay? Like, you better listen to me because Pam Bondi is giving me information straight from the fucking source, okay? Like, it's wild. He is definitely on something. These people are all on fucking, juiced up on some shit.
Would be an FBI director unlike any other.
We're going to make the FBI great again.
He's been such a fierce critic of the FBI for years.
I mean, the way is this how you want your FBI fucking the head of the FBI to act? He's acting like a fucking president. He's acting like somebody who's running for office, right? I mean, at least come on, act civil, act fucking, in a dignified manner. And this guy literally just pumping his fucking fists, loving the attention. It is more about optics with this guy. It's more about being in the public eye. It wouldn't surprise me if he has secret ambitions of becoming vice president, possibly president of the United States in the future.
We are going to end the two-tier system of justice. We are going to remove the weaponization of the intelligence community for political purposes.
Vowing to fire the leadership of the agency, empty out the headquarters, and radically redirect what the FBI does and how it does it. But even more unusual than those views are his path to this point and how he got this nomination.
In fact, this wasn't even the first time Trump tried to push this fierce FBI critic into the bureau. During his last presidency, he wanted Patel as deputy director, but ended up parking him in a Homeland Security role instead. On Trump's second try, he went all in and tapped Patel to run the entire bureau. Patel was narrowly confirmed in a 51-49 party line vote, with just 2 Republicans siding with all the Democrats against him. Suddenly, Kash was responsible for investigating federal crimes on matters like racketeering, fraud, public corruption, illegal financial schemes.
So this is a guy who's not actually qualified to do the job that he is being asked to do. This is just a guy that, nepotism, favoritism, recommended by Donald Trump and the people in the Senate who are supporters of Trump. He's kind of being like, look, man, put fucking Kash into this position. He'll do our bidding. He'll do work internally on our behalf.
Organized crime, and a whole lot more. So it's safe to say that he was overjoyed as he was sworn in.
First and foremost, we were just with President Trump, and I just want to thank him. I know he's not here in the room right now, but what a ride we have been on. What a courageous warrior and leader he has.
Is that is that what you want the head of the FBI to be saying? Oh, it's a crazy fucking ride that we've been on. It's absolutely wild. It's absolutely crazy. It's been a fucking smashing hard party. No, like, you want to bring stability. You want to bring a sense of calm. And this guy's like literally saying like, kind of giving a fucking Oscar acceptance speech. Is absolutely crazy what he is peddling.
It's been, and the faith and trust he has put in me to lead the FBI is the greatest honor that I'll ever have in my life. I am living the American dream. And anyone that thinks the American dream is dead, just look right here. You're talking to a first-generation Indian kid who's about to lead the law enforcement community, the greatest nation on God's green earth. That can't happen anywhere else.
In his speech, he also saluted Attorney General Pam Bondi, swearing to uphold the FBI's values above all else.
And to General Bondi, that sounds pretty freaking cool. Pam, you're my sister, you're my mentor, you're my friend, you're my boss, and the confidence you have placed in me, I will never violate trust. The men and women of the FBI will be led under your leadership.
He will never violate Pam Bondi's trust. Okay, let's see where that relationship goes.
Through one standard, the Constitution. So thank you for entrusting me, Pam.
But while it was no doubt impressive that he became the first person of color to become FBI director, it's fair to say that not everyone saw him as the aspirational figure that he believes himself to be, including some people who share his surname.
Let's talk about our main man, Kash Patel, the future director of the FBI. Kash Patel, if you don't know, is the first Patel I've ever encountered where every other Patel was like, nah, f that guy.
So even Kash Patel's own people, the Gujarati, Patels are Gujarati people, okay? Gujarati is a state in India, the state of Gujarat. A lot of Patels come from there, okay? they belong to a certain clan of mainly of merchants, farmers, landowners, I guess. Okay, they're very business savvy. Okay, a very tight knit group. Patels really look out for other Patels within the Gujarati community, and again, like I said, very business savvy, very friendly, very easy to get on with. Okay, I have many friends who are Gujarati. A lot of them are Patels. Just very nice, easygoing people. And for a whole community of that type of people to be that fuck that guy is a damning indication of Kash Patel's character.
I don't know if you people know anything about Patels, but Patels love other Patels.
Yeah, like I said, they really, really take care of one another. Okay, they're part of the tribe at that point.
Oh, you're a Patel, I'm a Patel, let's hang out.
The reason for this wasn't simply petty, but because as soon as he was sworn in, there was an immediate wariness over what it meant for democracy.
Kash Patel, and I don't say this lightly, is the most dangerous nominee that we've seen yet to our democracy.
We're talking about somebody who has espoused QAnon conspiracy theories,
saying that the 2020 election was stolen.
He has no other agenda but revenge.
Somebody who says he's going to throw judges in jail, he's going to throw bureaucrats in jail, he's going to throw reporters in jail.
I mean, it sounds like basically this guy is just on a fucking massive power trip. He is acting like a WWE wrestler. He is acting like a UFC fighter, promoting a fucking fight, trying to get eyeballs onto himself, right? For whatever reason, because the current playbook, the current meta is to gain attention at any fucking cost in order for yourself to build your brand so that you can be seen on the internet, so that you can be seen as a point of authority. Okay. And if you know anything about this channel, what we are doing, what I am trying to accomplish, I am trying to establish a kingdom. I'm trying to establish a network of kings, 100 kings, building their kingdoms, building the royal lines of kings so that we can bring together 100 people to build the future of the world. Okay, so that we don't have fucking people like Kash Patel in charge, so that we can fight them, so that we can also rise to battle these people, so that to be seen as points of authority at the same level and even higher than somebody like Kash Patel and Donald Trump, by becoming subject matter experts. Okay, be living your life purpose, be somebody who is in their zone of genius, rise to the top, be seen as somebody who is a point of authority, a leader, because that's what the world needs. Leaders. Okay, we don't need more people like fucking Kash Patel in charge. We need more people like you, good people in charge, leaders, real leaders who will drive forward and bring us to a new place in the next evolution of humanity. And that is what we're doing. That is why we're here. This is why this channel exists. This channel is a bat signal. I'm sending the signal all across the internet. I am assembling the Avengers, 10 billion people, sending the message to them. And I'm looking for 100 people to rise, to heed the call of adventure, to go on the hero's journey. If you ever thought that you're supposed to do something great in your life, this is your moment. This is your opportunity right now. And if you want to take the opportunity, let me know. We can work together. We can build something true, something great, something new. We can bring together new ways of looking at the world and helping humanity to its next phase of evolution. But that is it for today. Thank you very much. And I will see you tomorrow.